Thank you for joining us for Gate City Chronicles. I'm Kevin Avard, your host, and I have a special guest from Rotary, President-elect Mr. Frank Vumbaco.
Perfect.
I said that right.
That's right, Kevin.
All right. Well, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
So,
Pleasure being here.
You're with Rotary. Just give us a brief understanding. What is Rotary?
Well, Rotary is a service organization that's really founded on the basis of using acquaintance or networking as an opportunity to do service, not only from a community basis, but also across the United States and across the world. It's an organization that has about, well, in excess of 2 million members, representing about 177 countries in the world. And right here in Nashua, we actually have 3 Rotary clubs.
Now, you seem to be on the best one because you're on the West one. Is that correct?
Well, I have said to you privately, you know, West is the best, but
Yeah.
Actually, all 3 clubs are incredibly active in terms of community service.
Right.
There's a Nashua Club, which basically was founded, you know, almost 100 years ago. Our club basically was actually formed through the efforts of the Nashua Club. We call ourselves Nashua West, and we've been around. In fact, we had our 40th anniversary last year. And then there's a brand new club called, it's actually a happy hour club. And they meet on Mondays for about an hour, and it's basically for those young professionals that really can't get away during the day.
Right.
The other 2 clubs meet during lunchtime.
So our main topic today is about an event that we're going to be, the Rotary, this big event here in the southern part of New Hampshire. Is,
Yeah, we call it the Rockin' Ribfest.
The Rockin' Ribfest.
And this year is especially special for us because it happens to be the 10th anniversary of this event. The event basically is, you know, it's really a weekend of family entertainment hosted by Nashua West, but we have nearly 1,000 volunteers.
1,000?
1,000 volunteers.
Wow.
And we're expecting upwards of 35,000 people attending the event. It starts on a Friday.
Where is this going to be at?
We are partnered and have been partnered for 10 years now with Anheuser-Busch in Merrimack.
Right.
We're fortunate that they are basically our largest supporter, and basically on their grounds we'll have these 35,000 people over the course of you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
What was the genesis of this Ribfest? Where did it all begin?
Well, it really started out of the need for our club to kind of do something a little different. Most Rotary clubs to raise money for community and other types of events or programs will do things like auctions or golf events, or maybe they'll sell Christmas trees. And again, it's not that there's anything wrong with that. In fact, we help the other clubs do that. But we really wanted something that was a little different, and instead of putting our energy into 3 or 4 or 5 different things during the year, we wanted just one event. And Ribfest became basically this idea, and over the years it's steadily grown. In fact, this year, on Sunday, which by the way is Military Appreciation Day, all active military servicemen and their families can get into Rockin' Ribfest for free admission. We actually have the first annual road race. It's a 5-mile road race that people basically are going to do. We have over 1,000 runners that are, so each year we add something a little different.
Right.
And it grows.
It seems to me that as soon as you say Ribfest or Rockin' Ribfest and you include all these people, the first thing that comes to mind is community. And a community gathering together, not just for, like you said, for the Christmas trees or for a golf event where, you know, it's kind of, those are kind of selected, they're great ideas, but it immediately sounds to me like, well, all these people are coming together.
Exactly. The focus has always been family fun. And so on one side of the event grounds, we have, for children, we have, you know, the bouncy rides and the slip and slides and, you know, the face painting, the hula hoops. we have a small stage for kid bands, and it's a whole lot of fun.
Kid bands.
Well, we also have a teen band competition.
Oh, okay.
Where 10 to 15 local teen bands can actually compete.
Oh, that's interesting.
On a Friday afternoon.
Yeah. And these are all. How many events are there? I mean, I mean, you have a couple of little areas there, but do they get to go pat the horses or?
Well, actually, that's where the Clydesdales, the same grounds where the Clydesdales are housed, and it depends upon really, what their schedule is like, whether or not they'll be available.
Right.
But we are hopeful that we'll be able to bring out a few of them this year, and to bring them through the grounds so the kids can see these amazing animals. Mm-hmm. Again, it's kind of a catch as catch cans, depending upon what their schedule is around the country. But it is the location where they do house, is the summer home. It's kind of interesting to see if you go through the grounds and you look at where the horses are housed. I mean, some of these horses live better than some of the people I know.
I've been there. They're beautiful.
It's a beautiful location.
Yeah. As far as vendors, you must have a ton of vendors that are part. I mean, you said 1,000 people, but I mean those are your volunteers.
Those are the volunteers that we have helping us. Those are other clubs, other Rotarians. A lot of the community agencies that we support will provide some services or some help to us to either man the gates, to help us, with ticketing, to help us to do a number of other things throughout. We have local karate studio provides about 80 kids. Some of them are young kids, which we have basically do some recycling activities, and the bigger kids, the stronger kids, can help us with tear down and setup and things of that nature. So it's actually evolved into a very elaborate volunteer schedule with just an awful lot of people chipping in. And in return, we provide them with some remuneration for basically the service that they provide. So we track their hours, and it's kind of a good hand-in-hand type of effort.
So who benefits from Rotary? We have 35,000 potential people being there. You have people doing road races, and you're raising money. What is a typical?
That's a great question. Well, for the last 10 years that we've been doing Ribfest, what we do is we turn around and we're raising these funds primarily for local charities. And over the 10 years, I like to call it the A to Z list, because we really don't skip. There's probably 40 to 45 different agencies that are in the greater Nashua area. And you'll recognize all of them, from the Adult Learning Center to the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, Girls Inc., and again, the list goes on. Each one of these agencies are asked to submit an application for a grant from us. And what we try to do is we try to keep the grants relatively small so we can cover, the large need that there is. But the proceeds from this event are in turn 100% comes back either into the community or some of the international projects that we're doing.
I heard that the library actually even benefits to some degree with Rotary.
Absolutely. Basically, whether it's directly through some of the grant applications or through some other activity, but just about every nonprofit agency has either applied and been granted, some money over the years. So again, if there are people that are watching the program today and are interested, they certainly can go on our website and basically get some information where they can basically talk to, one of us from the standpoint of how they get an application.
Mm-hmm. If somebody wants to contribute, obviously they can go to the website and contribute that way for direct funding?
Well,
or do they have is there another way of?
Well, we have a Rock and Ribfest website that people can go to, and they can see what's happening on a day-to-day basis over the weekend. It also shows a list of sponsors. We have literally dozens of sponsors for the event this year, which is a little bit different for us because up until a few years ago, the major sponsor was Anheuser-Busch.
Right.
But now we're getting a lot of other activity from the local businesses, and there are some major sponsors. I mean, Remax is donating, their hot air balloon, for kid rides. But the list of the sponsors this year is kind of like the who's who in the area.
Right.
St. Joseph Hospital, basically Alan Mello, a number, Comcast, Fairpoint, AutoFair. I could go down this list, but it's, again, BAE Systems, all of the large employers.
Right.
So we're actually getting a lot of community involvement now, not only for volunteer help, but also for monetary support that we, in turn, can make this event bigger and bigger each year.
Is there a threshold for somebody to be a sponsor? Is it 200, 500?
Well, again, no amount is too small, but the sponsors that I was talking about, typically we start at $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's also a lot of people that give us in-kind services as opposed to monetary donations. Some of our partners, some of the radio stations, some of the like I mentioned, Comcast, a lot of that is in-kind. That is certainly in excess of the numbers we were talking about. So
as soon as you said balloon ride, I can just see, the faces going, there's going to be a balloon ride. That's fantastic.
Just hope for good weather.
Right.
Right. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be just hot, but not windy, because there are certain conditions.
Right.
Last year we had it up for a very short period of time. But yeah, again, a lot of this is weather permitting.
How big are the grounds for?
I want to say I don't know physically. I haven't really been told exactly, but it's probably there are soccer fields up there. It's probably 15 to 20 acres.
Oh, interesting.
It's a good size piece of property.
Do you park right in there?
Parking is also something that's been a challenge for us, but we've actually come up with a pretty good scheme this year. A lot of the local businesses have allowed us to use their parking lots. And we have shuttle buses. In fact, this particular weekend, it's going to be the coincidence of the shops that are in Merrimack that are opening, the 100 new stores are opening the same weekend. So we've worked collaboratively with, I'm having a trouble getting the words on my mouth, with both the property owners at the new mall stores that are going in.
I'm sure they're going to love it.
Absolutely, as well as with local police in Merrimack, as well as Nashua police. So we think we've got a pretty good plan.
Yeah.
We expect a lot of people this year.
Will there be entertainment other than, obviously, you'll have the rock and rollers, the kids competing? That sounds like fun, but...
Actually, this year we've stepped it up a notch in terms of the adult entertainment. We have a Beatles tribute band on Friday night. We're basically going to have some jazz on Saturday night, and Saturday afternoon we have a couple very popular bands that I have names here I'll refer to in a minute. But you can go, all the information is going to be is already on the website.
And where is that? What is the website?
Let me just make sure that I give this to our viewers correctly. If you go to www.rotaryribfest.org, there's a ton of information there about the sponsorship opportunities. In fact, there's a sponsorship application.
Right. We'll have that on the lower thirds as we're talking, most likely.
Excellent. So the music is going to be provided by these bands that a lot of people remember. The Slackers, the Pop Farmers, the Psychedelic Relics, the Blues Brothers, and then the Beatles Tribute Band. So again, it's a step up. If you've been to the Ribfest in the past, this is definitely a step up from what we've been able to do in the past.
Will there be alcoholic or adult beverages served during these?
What are ribs without beer?
Just asking,
And it's almost like we have a pipe coming from the brewery, but we don't. Yes, actually, you can get a 14-ounce beer. Again, we've measured it, for $5. It's a very reasonable price. But yes, there'll be plenty of beer on hand and some non-beer type alcoholic beverages for the people that don't particularly like beer, as well as a whole host of non-alcoholic beverages available. So yes, plenty of amber-colored beverages to go around.
So again, what is the date that this starts?
This starts basically on the 15th, which is Friday, and runs through the 17th, of Sunday. Okay. So we open the gates at Friday at 4 o'clock, run to 11. The next day, Saturday, we open up at 11 and we go to 11. And on Sunday, again at 11 o'clock, and we close, I think, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So basically, you want the people definitely to check the website so they can figure out which events is appropriate for their liking and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What I didn't mention is that this is also the site for the New Hampshire Barbecue Grillers Competition. The winner from this event, there's probably, I think, 40 to 45 grillers from New Hampshire that have actually signed up. The winner goes to Tennessee to compete in a national, for the title of the best barbecue in the country. So it's a very popular spot. You have to have, as I understand it, a state title to compete in the national. And so we're going to have a very active competition. Now that's going to be not necessarily available to the public. They go off on the side and they spend, a weekend basically preparing their best pork shoulder or whatever it is. And we provide the judging and for the competition and announce the winners basically on Sunday. Now, having said that, for the public, there's probably, I would say, 9 or 10 rib vendors from all over the area. Some of the best ribs that you'll ever eat. We also have what we call the People's Choice Awards, so people can vote for their best ribber, on the public side. Mm-hmm. In addition to ribs, if that's not your bag, there's all sorts of other food available. Roasted corn on the cob. Have you ever had an amazing deep fried Oreo?
I'm sure I'm going to have an opportunity.
You could actually do that.
Right.
There's ice cream, and there's the typical fare that you would see, hot dogs and hamburgers. And so there's a lot of food, not just ribs, but you got to try the ribs.
Wow, I'm glad that you came on the show. Is there anything else that our viewers should know about?
No, I just check out the website.
Okay.
And basically plan the day. And if you do come by, stop by the beer tent. Frank will be there. And
say hi.
You can say hi and.
And one other question, if you don't mind, how do people, if they want to get involved with Rotary, do they call you or do they go to the Ribfest website? How do they get in touch with you?
They actually would go to not the Ribfest website, but Nashua West website, which basically, if you Google Nashua West, you'll find the website. And then you'll see the names of basically some of the people on our membership committee. Mm-hmm. But we meet at the Crown Plaza on Tuesdays at noon. And if you want to be a part of that, just show up at noon and you'll be our guest.
We'd love to have you come on the show and talk a little bit more about Rotary. If that's
Kevin, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate being here.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right, cool.
And thank you for watching Gate City Chronicles, and I hope this was useful for you. I hope we'll see you there. We're going to actually have some live coverage and document some of the vendors and some of the events that are going on. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching Gate City Chronicle.